how, and I'm going to start recording now, and how to make sure you're finding a margin. It's really easy to do. It's a small little simple step that most people miss. So if you're the one sitting there and I can't find listings that have profit, I can't find listing with profit, there's a subtle little thing I'm going to show you that you missed in the videos, or maybe you missed in the I put it up in the videos, the Earl coaching session, I covered it, and a number of other videos. Okay, so but because Lisa asked me to do the titling, we're going to cover most of that today, and then I'm going to show you some results of that, of what this will do for you. Because as you guys know, I went on vacation for a week. Okay, so I was basically not really working for 7 days. Kind of 6 days, right? Yesterday maybe, but kind of catching up last night. But so that means that I've only put in really 6 real work days this month. And I didn't even look at the calendar. Of course, I don't work much on Sundays really at all. If I do anything on Saturdays, it's to coach you guys or do some sort of workshop. So I'm not doing any listing work, not doing any eBay on my eBay stores work. So it might even go down lower than 6 days. Okay, but I went through the training store, and I went and did some titling and analytic work. Okay, and I did that before I went on vacation at the beginning of June. Of course, I didn't tell Lisa this. It was going to be a surprise. And I said, okay, let's take a look and see what happened. The first thing I want to show you is this. This little, and there's only 13 listings up, but I want to show you 797 items sold with really 6 days worth of work on 13 listings. That's what's possible. So it's always important for us to understand that that's what's possible. An average profit of about $6.50. It might be closer to $7 per listing. Okay, so I could do the math here. 650 times 797. So a net profit of $5,180. Okay, and about a week's worth of work. In those days, as you guys know, I spend a lot of time coaching people out of debt, which I do for free, which you know. I do other volunteer work in the evenings and Sunday nights and Mondays and Tuesdays. So really, I'll get up and do some coaching sessions, really about 3 to 4 hours a day max. Okay? So that's what's possible. And of course, you got to go through the learning curve. Right? Some of you guys are just watching the videos. You might be struggling to put up a listing. Well, you'll put up a listing. The first time you put up a listing, it'll take you an hour. And the second time, or maybe even 2 hours the first time. The second time will take you 15 minutes. The third time will take you 5 minutes. The fourth time will take you less than a minute. So you got to go through that, really, to start seeing this other stuff happen. All right, so the title, I can relate this to titling and analytics, okay? Because I took really probably 3 products, and I created about it was between 10 and 18 listings, depending on when, where, what, why. So, but only 3 products, which means I'm listing the same product, but in different ways. And some products aren't as versatile as others, so you may not be able to do that. So, give you an idea of the rate at which this stuff sells, and I don't know how to get rid of that. Let me see if I can. How to get rid of all this. Let me try something really quick. Let me switch screens. Let me go back to screen 1 and see if it goes away. It did. Great. Okay. So Jeff says, how long does it take to place 797 orders? About 2 a minute. Okay, so I can do about 120 in an hour. Okay, pretty easy to do. That's the fun part. So really, I spent really about a few hours on doing the titling work. Once it was done for the whole month. I haven't done any titling work since the beginning of June, like 1st or 2nd. and then now all I really do is fulfill orders. I don't really do anything else. And you can see here on this particular listing, just today, there, that's just today. Or this particular listing, just today. Okay? How you can sell it over and over and over again in the same day. Okay? But that's the possibilities. Now, let's go to, I just, all I really did, and we can certainly do this blindly, I went in and pulled, probably 10 minutes before we started, I pulled up this listing here. It only took me a minute. I mean, I can go, I'll do another one for you guys if you want. It's no big deal. Or you can just throw out some suggestions. I'll do it blind. It really doesn't matter. But this item just sold two of them recently, this particular person, and one of them today. And I looked it up on Amazon, and it was $11.99. All right, so and it took me literally less than a minute to find this. Obviously, I already knew the seller, so it was easy. But there's definitely margin in it, right? And for the new people, it's pretty simple. You got $23.98 the sales price. And after eBay fees and PayPal fees, it's about 15%. Right now, it's way lower than that. But you definitely have enough cushion using those numbers, times 0.85. So that's what you're going to receive or what you're going to have left minus the cost of product. So you really have $12.32 in cost of product. So minus $12.32. So right before your eyes, you see there's a profitable listing of $8. They're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. What I want to do is kind of open your guys' eyes to how much there is to list, because you kind of sometimes get these tunnel vision. All right, so now what I did was I took this title. Let's just take this title. We want to go into eBay Research Labs, and there's a video on exactly how to find this, but I'll do it again real quick. I mean, you can just go into Google, and you can just type in eBay Labs, okay? And you're going to have this pop up, and you click on Bay Estimate, okay? And that's what I had right there. So I'm going to close this out. I need the other one, but that's where I was, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and so he sold this. Now, there's a couple things I want you guys to see. This title was a big part of why he sold those two. If you get into someone who sold, 10 of something, 11 of something, or over 5, the title they have is good, but it doesn't mean it's maximized. It doesn't mean that there's not a bunch more sales to get, and I'll show you. So what you do is you go ahead and throw the title in there, okay, and you hit submit. And what it's going to do is really down here, it kind of breaks down your title, all right? All these different words are broken down in here, okay? But what you want to get from this is how to create a better title that's going to pull even more. For example, sometimes I wonder if putting in new fast shipping is really going to make it sell more. Really, when someone's typing in to find this this kid's popsicle maker, they're not going to type in the search inquiry new fast shipping to have that pull up. So oftentimes I think we waste titling space in things like that. But really what this is a popsicle maker, right? So if I'm going to type in something in the search query, I'm going to start using logic first, and then I'm going to take the initial logic that I used to expand on things that I may not have thought about. So this is a popsicle maker, okay? It's not a new. It's not a new. But what happens is initially it'll show you how many times people typed in those words. For example, people have typed in new 46,073 times in the last month. Okay? But what I want to do is click on this, popsicle maker. And this is where you learn how to create titles and then open up your head to all the types of things, right? So, for example, the number one keyword that was inputted when people also put in popsicle maker, the biggest, most of the time, this big green circle, they put in party. So what would you do? They almost never put in summer. So you may want to consider doing another listing of the same item and put in party. That's title optimization. And you may want to put in the letter A, right? Sometimes you'll get things down here that have nothing to do with your item, maybe a technical thing, and may have to do with another item similar. And you certainly don't want to put in vintage or IKEA because that's not what it really is. So you have to use logic again. Rocket, I don't know about Rocket, but these top ones certainly make sense. See, Party Kids, Ice Pop again. Popsicle, freezer, mold, maker, new, fast shipping. So I would consider on my second listing to remove that. And I might put in frozen. You see, we have freezer, but we need to put in frozen. And it doesn't necessarily have to make sense in the context of the whole title having to be a sentence that sounds right. It just needs to be things in your title that are going to pull up when they type it in their search so that you're going to get more people hitting your listing. Okay? So that's what titling analytics is all about. And I'm going to go here. Frozen what? Treats. Right? 48 or whatever. And then you can go further. You can go pop mold and look at the different things. Or popsicle and look at all the different words that may apply. Popsicle ice. Look at this. Popsicle ice, Norpro was #1. Well, wait a minute. Let's go back to the Amazon listing. This is a Norpro. They didn't even put it in their listing. And it's a pretty good seller, so I'm surprised. So I might even change it again, right, and put Norpro in the front. So that's titling and listing analytics. And you can certainly do that on all of your listings, but what you don't want to do is do that and have it slow you down before you cast your net. You see, think about it in this terms. You have your own store online. It's like having your own Walmart store, and you put up 10 listings, and someone walks into your store, and all your shelves are bare, and you only have 10 items on the shelf. Well, you're not going to sell anything. Right? There's millions of people hitting eBay. It's an unbelievable opportunity. Within minutes or a few hours, you can have stuff up where people all over the world can view without having to build a website. It's one of the most extraordinary opportunities I've ever seen, and I'm very grateful for it. Sometimes you read online of all the eBay haters or the big corporation. Man, I think eBay is the greatest, one of the most wonderful things out there. Very grateful that they have this platform that you can literally walk into blind and start creating income virtually overnight. So understand the opportunity without building websites, without having to buy a bunch of product, without having to have a bunch of money. That opportunity is extraordinary, especially in today's economy. So you can also look here at all the different categories that are suggested. I would have never thought of, I guess so, home, garden, kitchen, dining. It's amazing. Pastry tools, ice cream makers, and people do search in eBay by category, right? By category. And I got a really great question I got to read here. I've seen a number of high-volume sellers like Free Ship Only that have custom layouts for the items that they sell. Is this worth the effort? Does it increase sales? I got to be honest with you. I believe it does, and I've done none of it myself. I've mostly because of time. I spent so much time was creating so much time coaching people out of debt and doing my volunteer work and then helping you guys in eBay that I didn't have time to go back and really do any, especially to the new training store, and do any kind of bordering and all this stuff. It does make a difference. Your presentation does make a difference. But what's more important is getting your listings up. It's a numbers game. It only costs you 5 to 50 cents a listing, and even last month it's free. Man, you should be pumping those things up left and right. It's like, writing your own lottery tickets like crazy. And until you get up to your 50% of your total listing capacity, you should have in single quantity items. And then as you sell, you increase the quantity, you relist, and then change it to 2, and then keep increasing as you go. and it's really easy to do. And if you look at the opportunity, I could type in anything here, and we're just going to go back and type in green Amazon, and just under this one word, you have 507,000. Look at this, 507,000 results. Crazy. Amazon is a just under $14 billion company. That's basically wholesale. It's ridiculous. I was in my wife. I'm looking for one of those. It was funny. I was at lunch with my wife today, and she's got her new iPhone, and I'm typing stuff in there. And I don't have an iPhone, and I'm looking at. She goes, "Well, Kmart had one of those things you're looking for. One of those things that helps you hang upside down because my back's pretty bad." So, well, there was one in Montana. My brother had one there, and it was doing wonders for me. So I'm like, oh, I want to get one of those. So my wife's like, well, I was in Kmart the other day, and they're $149. Now, you know, Walmart, they're about the same. And then I go, of course, I don't even know what it's called. So I go on her iPhone, and I type in hang upside down. She started laughing. And bingo, it's $112. That's fantastic. Prime shipping, free, drop ship anywhere. It's an absolutely extraordinary opportunity. So Roger, yes, it does increase your sales, but what you don't want to do is only have 10 listings up. Here's the numbers, guys. And I can certainly do another one of those analytics if you guys would like, if you think it'll provide value for you. But I'm going to go ahead and do what I've done in the last few group coaching workshops, which is so important, so that you guys understand what you need to do. Well, first thing is a lot of you have worked for someone else most of your life. And when you've done that, you go to work for someone else. It's pretty easy because you're pretty much told what to do, right? You say, okay, this is your job, this is what you do, and these are the expectations. So the expectations are created for you. Now you need to, this is a little bit different. You need to create your own expectations. Right? Of that way, when you clarify it in your head, you are clearly going to go do it. People that don't move forward don't have clarity on where they're going. If you're very clear on where you're going, it's really easy to make those steps. It's very easy to find the energy to get motivated to do it. So what I want to do is take one of you or many of you. I want you to go ahead and type in right now how much money you want to make a month. Okay? So go ahead and type that in now. You know, whether it's 6 months from now, your goal, 3 months from now, it doesn't really matter. If you had a number, you want to put it up there, hey, this would be like glorious for me, okay? It would be absolutely wonderful. What do I want to make? Okay, so I've got some stuff here. Angel, I don't want to butcher your first name. Alan, $35,000 a month. Wow. Okay. I might do a medium one, and I might do that one, Alan, because that's a number that interests me. But let's just take Jan. Jan says $5,000 a month. So Jan wants to make $5,000 a month. So Jan, what I would do is you'd write it down. Okay, income goal / expectation. Okay, is $5,000 a month. And this is how I usually start. I start with the end result and I work backwards. Okay? So $5,000 a month. Well, what's it going to take to make $5,000 a month? Well, I need to know certain things too. First of all, I got to figure out how many items do I have to sell to hit that number, and I got to come up with some numbers. So let's say the average profit per item is $4. Okay? All right, so I think most people would agree with that. You guys, let's go ahead and say, do you guys agree with this so far? The average profit, something really conservative, $4. Is that fair enough? Yes or no? Excuse me. If I go through this and it doesn't mean something, you don't relate to it, then it doesn't mean anything to you, right? I want to use real numbers. Okay, no one's responding to that. That's fine. So $4 profit per item. So basically, really, I just need to divide $5,000 by 4. And that'll tell me how many items I need to sell for the whole month, right? So I can go here and take 5,000 items divided by 4, okay? That means I would have to need to sell 1,250 items in 1 month, okay? So then I'm going to take the 1250 and divide it by 30. How many items do I need to sell a day? Let's call it 42 items sold per day. Okay? Now you can know that that's pretty, now when you look at that, it's like, wait a minute, 42 per day, I can totally see that. I know I can. I sold 42 items of one item a day myself, but, you know, I know, I don't know if Nick's on here. Nick, you know, he's been in a short period of time. I think he's averaging 10 a day, just got bumped to a 900 item store. So what are the constraints? The constraints are you and eBay, really, right? So what's holding you from hitting that now? What's the constraints? It's you and eBay, okay? So you getting the listings up and then eBay preventing you from putting up enough listings to do that, right? So you got to put in some time to get a relationship with eBay so they keep increasing your store. Those are the two constraints. Well, the one thing you can control right now is you. So that's why I say if you've got 100 listing capacity, you need to get up to 50 listings right away. Now, 42 items per day. Now, if you are listing items that have clear evidence that, whatever you want, 3 to 5 or more items, 3 to 5 or more have sold in the last 30 days. Okay? So if something's sold once or twice, you may not want to list that thing. Or you may want to go ahead and list it since the listings are free and get your listings up, but come back and replace them with ones later that have more action. Okay? But listing items that have clear evidence of 3 or 5 or more have sold in the last 30 days. When you do that, what was the number? Once you have 30 listings up, you sell on average 1.5 per day, right? So if you only got a few listings up, you may go 5-6 days before you see your first sell. You get 30 listings up under this criteria, you're going to sell an average of 1.5 items per day. So what are you going to do? Well, I want to sell 42 items today. Well, 30 listings gives me 1.5. So divide 42 by 1.5. That would be 28 times more. So 28 times 30 equals 840 listings up, right, in order to make $5K per month. This is not the numbers sold. Remember, the numbers sold. If you have 840 listings up in a month, there's no way under this criteria, there's no way you're not going to sell 1250. There's just no way. So that's the number. So Nick got increased from 300 to 900 today or yesterday. Bam. The floodgates just opened wide up for him after being in for a few months. Now he can go after the thousands of dollars a month rather than making 1,000 or 1,500 or 5 or 800 or whatever he made in that particular month. The floodgates kind of open up. So, but now you've got a clear pan. Well, wait a minute. 840 listings. Well, if I have that capacity, I would only have to put up 28 listings per day to make $5,000 a month. Well, you can certainly do that if you worked at it full time, and now you could see, or even part time, now you can see how, wow, this could be something. Now, keep in mind, we did some really conservative things here. $4 profit, 1.5 per day on 30 listings, very conservative numbers. There's no way we're not going to hit our goals. Now, Alan, if you want to make $35,000 in a month, right, you're going to have to be in the mastermind group or figure it out on your own, okay? No one gets into the mastermind group until they get out of the first 90 days limitations with eBay, and we have a conversation. I'm just very particular who we bring in. But I could tell you that I'm probably close to $7 profit average per listing. Okay, and if I want to make 35,000 bucks, I would have to sell 5,000 items divided by 30 days, or 166 items a day. Well, I don't know. Let's take a look. Let me go to selling. Actually, I could have went here. Sold today. Look at that. Today, 131 sales. Look at the bottom here. Actually, total number of units I sold today on this store was 159. So, wow, that's just today. Today was an exceptional selling day, by the way. So, actually, it was a record day for this. So let's go back. And let me get rid of all the stuff I did on my screen here. Let's go here. And then I go back to here. Okay. All right. So now, so really having clarity, like drawing yourself a roadmap, is exceptionally important, right? And figure out, okay, this is where I want to be, and really back that up for you. And what you'll find is you'll start running towards it rather than just being stalled by thinking too much. You're like, wait, you'll start running towards your goal. And you'll start to see things happen, and you'll start to consider things possible that maybe you've never considered possible before. So really, when I first saw Alan's number, I thought, 35 grand, what would that take? Well, heck, I pretty much did that today. I didn't even realize it. On pace for that today. So, and it doesn't, once as you learn, all right, Alan, just go ahead and send me a message. We'll talk. All right. So anyways, so the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 numbers, those are really easy. The key is the transition too, right? So if you are working 8 hours a day, you really need to create some clear expectations for yourself on something that's going to function, and you may have to give up a little bit in the short term to get what you want in the long term. So I know if I asked each and every one of you guys, well, what do you want in the long term? Well, I want to be able to enjoy my family and have all the money that I need and maybe put in a few hours a day. That would be great, and I can go to lunch with my wife or my spouse every day, and I can go to all my kids' basketball games, and I can go to the beach every day, whatever. Each one of you is different, but I had to sacrifice a lot to make that transition. So if you're working 8 hours a day and you may have to sacrifice 90 minutes a day working on that goal, knowing that in 3 to 6 months, you're pretty likely going to be there to where you can transition. It's harder to transition the more you make, right? Because if you're making $80,000 a year or $6,500 a month or whatever it is, and you got to replace $6,500 with eBay, well, you can't do it in less than 5 hours a day, right? So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to start making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month on eBay, put the money away to help you in transition when you lose the money. If you only need to make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, you can do that with another job pretty simply, without a lot of sacrifice, in my opinion. Just my thoughts to help you guys create expectations for yourself so that you can succeed, right? And I know a lot of you are doing really, really well, and I get all the messages, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for every one of them, and it really does matter when I read an email from someone that says, hey, thank you so much. This is what has happened to me good because of your system. It does matter. How do I find $7 to $8 profit items? I search one seller's product at a time and check out each one and have to go through a lot to get one with $3. First of all, there's nothing wrong with $3. Okay? But what happens is, as you're doing this for a while, you're going to find your items that you're making great money on. You're going to start accumulating them. You won't, if you sit there looking for a $7, $8 item, you're never going to list. You're going to list one item, and I find those. It takes me months to find those sometimes. Lots of 4s, 3s, 4s. Lots of stuff under 3, which I know you guys get caught up on. So those 3s are fine. Really, it's a numbers game. Do I want to spend all day trying to find an $8 item, or I can sit here and list 33s right now? I'm going to take the 33s because it's the time that you're putting in. And then as you go forward, you'll start finding the ones with bigger profit. I mean, I've had them with $20 I was selling them. Eventually other people catch on. So, and it's not hard to do. And I really want to go through the subtlety of that too in a moment. How do I get more feedback so my listings increase, fulfill my orders right? Well, it's more than just feedback. Okay, so obviously you got to have some feedback, but you can also contact the people who haven't left you feedback and say, hey, I see that you haven't left any feedback. Is there anything I can do to make you happy? Grady just did that recently, and he increased his feedback by 25%. So you can go through and encourage people to help you leave feedback. You can also read some stuff, and I haven't done it in so long, some suggestions in eBay on how to get more feedback from people. By the way, if you're not leaving feedback to them as a buyer, you're less likely to get feedback from them as a seller leaving feedback. So my eBay store is set to automatically leave good feedback. My store is automatic. When you get an anchor store, you have a lot of automatic settings, or you get a basic or a premium store. I don't know which one it is. But you can set it so where it automatically leaves the feedback for you, and that you're always leaving good feedback so that you get it back. Okay? But there's more than that to get to that. And I'm going to show you something really quick that I didn't expect to, but now that you said it, Jeff, it's very important that you understand it. It can be quite confusing. So I'm going to go through here really quick, and I'm going to go to the seller's dashboard, okay? And you'll see that I had upon its policy. By the way, I'm getting this removed. I had someone do something that was wrong, and they agreed to remove it. But anyways, I can go to my dashboard, and I'm going to go to performance. I'm going to click on this above standard here. And this is one of the biggest keys. And you can go down here, and you can see everything that's checked green here means that I've met or exceeded the standard. So I've met or exceeded the standard on every single requirement. In fact, if you're above this 1%, it's bad. Above 2, at 2, it's bad. And you can see how well I'm doing. The lower it is, the better. Okay? You can see, and I was on the phone with eBay just the other day. I'm discussing this to make sure it's the same. He says, man, you're just killing it across the board. Right? Communication is excellent. Item as described. Shipping time and shipping and handling charges. Obviously, the charges, that's way low because we do free shipping on most. Okay? And so that's pretty much how that works. Okay? So there we go, Jeff. Can I avoid final value fees when I relist an item? What you want to do, and this is not in the videos, and I need to recut a video and do it, but we obviously do a 30-day listing. But you can do a good until canceled. Well, actually, you cannot avoid final value fees when you relist an item. You can avoid the relisting fees. So you only pay final value fees when you sell something. And you can never avoid those. What you may be asking is, can you avoid relisting fees? Well, the listing fees have been free and it's going to be free for a while. You can list the same product twice with a different title and mix up the description a little bit, especially if it's going in different categories. Remember, look, you can list the item in different categories for different purposes. Okay? I've set up my stores to charge tax in California and New York. Is that bad? It's amazing. It's amazing how human nature is, and this is not pointed at you, Jeff. So let me just say that, but because it comes up all the time. I'll get someone that says, "I'm getting literally crying wolf. I'm getting killed on sales tax. I'm not making any money," and I get on a coaching session with them, and we look at all their sales, and 22% of their sales has sales tax, and they're getting killed. They're not making any money on anything. That means that 78% of them didn't have sales tax and they weren't getting killed. And as an eBayer and someone who's been doing it for a while and getting feedback from someone who did it for 10 years, who trained me 1.3 to 1.8 million a year, he says, Dave, I don't give a crap. I eat it. I don't care. I don't move. I'm just moving on. I'm not going to sit there and look at the negatives and nickel and dime the thing. So here's the thing. I count it as a win if I get hit with sales tax and I have any profit. But if it's strictly just a mathematical thing. If you're selling $100 items with only $3 profits, you're going to get killed. Because if someone buys it from New York and it's 8% sales tax, and bam, you just lost $5 on the transaction. But if you get a $50 item or less and you get charged 8% sales tax, you're going to only lose $1 on it. Or if you're selling mostly $40 items, which is what I suggest, you're going to actually break even or make money when you're above $3. So that's the key. What you don't want to do is create a transaction that's going to imprint a negative on you for that one day, because it's not going to do you any good. But you get in a mindset, well, that's just part of the business. Woo-hoo. When I get charged sales tax and I made money, I'm like, whoa, I made $1 and I got hammered. Cool, next. Right? And it's just part of doing business. And in any business, Walmart doesn't make money in every transaction. They got to have returns, and they got to have this, and they got to have that. And a lot of that stuff's taken away from you, because Amazon handles all that stuff like beautiful. So you don't have to eat it. They eat it. So paying a little sales tax in here doesn't matter. Now, if you set up your store to charge sales tax in California and New York, that's fine. But here's the thing. You're not going to be charged on every California transaction. It depends on which warehouse you're coming out of. And you can prevent yourself from getting other sales. You could lose sales. Now, you're going to also have to get a sales tax permit in both of those states and file quarterly. Is it really worth it? I probably would say no. But that's just my view. If you want to do it, you can, and it won't be that bad. Businesses do it all the time. You should have the tax setting for your state only. So I live in Colorado. When someone buys from Colorado, I pay the state tax for Colorado. I have a sales tax permit for Colorado. It cost me $20, did it online, bam, it came in the mail. So quarterly, I'm going to write up a quarterly statement for the $1.87 I collected in tax in Colorado for that quarter, and I'm going to send it to the state of Colorado. So you should handle that. Boy, it's already been 37 minutes. Wow. Dave, after Jeff was the one spitting out the questions here, it's great. Yeah, it's 2.3. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. And that's right, we're both in Colorado. So it's very rare that we have someone in Colorado buy our items. It's 1 out of 100. Hi, Jim. Dave, after a while, don't we eventually find items that continually sell over and over instead of listing 150 items a day? We don't have to. Absolutely. After a while, you're going to get items that you continuously sell over and over again. Just stock your shelves, and all you're going to be doing is changing your quantities on something, right? So you'll just be upping the quantity rather than redoing a listing. It's a small, quick adjustment. It takes, you're just doing a revision of your current listing. So if you list an item, when you first list an item, you're listing with a quantity of 1, right? So that's what I do. With I just spell quantity wrong. Quantity, okay, of 1, okay? So then it sells. Then you're going to relist with quantity of 2. I just want to do that wrong, don't I? Quantity of 2. And then if it sells, then every time it sells, again, you revise, do not revise listing and increase quantity. I did it right first time, by 1, right? If that makes any sense. I hope it does. You guys hear that cheek ting keep going off while we're on this thing in my microphone? Maybe that's every time that's went off, something sold in that training store there. Okay. All right. 10,000 by October. Jones, 2,000 a month. $4 good. Thanks, Julia. Where do you go to ask for feedback? You just click on click on the person and say contact member. Yes. Oh, yeah, I see. We should be selling mostly. Really, I'm saying you don't want to list items, a ton of items over $40 when you first start. Okay, unless you have bigger profit. For example, I'm going to be listing a fuel caddy tonight from Northern Tool, and that item has like a $30 profit. So if and it includes a sales tax already. So, in some cases you can do that. I'm just saying that so that when you guys are doing the Amazon thing, you don't freak out, when you lose money if you get a sale in New York and only got a $3 profit. You can have a $75 item, right? Just make sure you have $6 in profit so that if you get hit for sales tax, you're even. That's really what I'm saying. If it just depends on the profit of the item. Great distinction though, and thanks for bringing that up, Marisol. Does relisting an item count towards your monthly allowed listings? It does. That's a Stone. You're correct. Stone says you can find an $8 profit item because she's found them. However, Amazon then gives you a selling limit because you start selling. Not only do you get profit, but you're selling tons of them, right? Or you're selling 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They'll limit you how many per month you can do. Then guess what do? You open an upper Amazon account. And if they get on your case about that, fine. Go ahead and get a proxy server so that you're signing into Amazon from different IPs all around the planet. That's an interesting one. I shouldn't have said that. Okay. Okay. Any thoughts about Amazon and their emails? A lot of us are messaging about violating terms and conditions. Not really. I covered that so many times in the video. I mean, all right. I said I wasn't going to do it to someone else, and now I'm going to do it. So Maris is probably busting her up. Amazon. Okay, so let's talk about. I got to turn on my fan. It's getting hot. Hang on. Amazon is a $13 billion corporation. So you got a bunch of guys that their pay is based on how much they sell and bonuses. And imagine how many accountants you have running around as well. They're running around checking stuff, right? Running those numbers, crunching those numbers, right? And the sales guys come up with the Amazon Prime program. They're like, yeah, we can do this Amazon Prime thing, and we'll just start burning product out the door. We'll do the $79. And then the accountants come in, well, you just make sure people aren't buying that to resell because they're going to be getting all the items under $25, and we're not going to be making the money. You can call up Amazon, you could talk to them about it, and you're going to get schizophrenic behavior. So what does that mean? If you want to deal with Amazon Prime and you want to keep getting free shipping, you need to play the game. And the game is, the backdoor game is, well, you can open up as many Amazon accounts as you want. They'll actually tell you that. One of the students on the selling limits was on the phone with Amazon. They figured out how to get one shipped, and the lady said, hey, just go open up another Amazon account, and you can keep ordering more. That's just the environment you're in. Now, if you don't want to play the game, it's really simple. All you do is you go into Amazon and you stop listing items for under $25. Let me see if I can find the search here. Is there? Boy, I've been on vacation. All right, so anyways, I can go in and start listing items that, maybe I'll list this item right here, but I'll make sure that I have more than the 8% profit, right? And it's free shipping without Prime. It's eligible for free super saving shipping. And the best way to see that is to go ahead and sign out. Okay? So I signed out, and I'm back, and now I'm signed out. So now I can go in, and I can click on this and see it's not even out yet. Okay, so let's go back. I can go find another item. Let's see what this Father's Day gift is all about. Let's try this one. What's the darn price? This is really weird. I can start looking at watches for $50 to $100. Free Super Saver shipping. So even if you don't have Prime, you get free shipping. So then, that little ding dong. So then you get, someone from China is trying to talk to me. Then you get, You don't have to have Prime. So it's eligible for free shipping or Prime, either one. Okay? So you can start listing items. By the way, watches do sell really good on eBay. So, okay. Boy, we got something. FYI, I'm selling 1 to 2 items a day. So Jeff says he's selling 1 to 2 items a day, started on May 26th, 16 days in, and he's selling 1 to 2 items per day. And that's you're doing actually pretty well, Jeff, for the first time. You'll get better, and your settling rate will get better. That's pretty good. That's all eBay will give me, he says. And don't worry, they'll give you more soon. Good job, Jeff. Great to hear it. Kim, good evening. Kim is a man, not a woman. Roger says, what tools are you using to track sales and profits? I just have my own spreadsheet. Really easy to make. There's a video on how to make the spreadsheet. It's in the coaching, archive coaching sessions. And I don't give away my spreadsheet. Grady actually uploaded his spreadsheet in the Facebook group that he uses, and I'm actually using that now. Lisa says, go see your accountant. Okay. That was great. Dave, should we specialize in certain products or try to sell anything that sells? What are your thoughts? You don't ever specialize in a certain product at where you guys are at right now. You need to follow the sellers. You need to find the sellers, right? You need to go in there. I'm going to do this. I got to do it. Green, I'm going way over. I got to get done here. Green Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and type in anything. And I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I hate green Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this right here. All right? So now I'm going to go ahead and grab the title of that, and I'm going to go right back to eBay. This is crazy, right? This is crazy how easy this is to do. And I'm going to show you really quick. We're going to go ahead and paste that in, and bingo, we're going to find this green, simple green stuff. Well, first of all, remember that the price is $17.95, free shipping on orders over $25. So if you don't want to deal with Prime, then you would go ahead and move on from this product. Or remember, when I'm first going in, I'm looking for a seller to follow the coattails of that has tangible evidence that he's sold things that I want to list. So I know when I list it, it's probably going to sell, right? It's like knowing the answer up front. So you got all these different prices. What you guys usually do is there's not a lot of these, but you go ahead and do the lowest price. And you go ahead and click on the lowest price guy. Wrong. That's not what you do. If you go ahead and click on the lowest price guy, he's going to have the lowest margin. In fact, he's losing money on this if he's getting it from Amazon, which he's not. He's getting it from somewhere else. But what you want to do is let's take a look at the picture real quick. Simple green, clean building, blah, 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 blah. Here it is right here. So this person right here, when they sell it, they're making money. I'm not going to pick the lowest guy. I might even go to this guy right here, even though it's not exactly the same label. So I'm going to go with this guy right here, and I really don't care if the first item I look at isn't sold. All I'm really doing is trying to find a seller that sells Amazon products. Then I go in and see what he's doing and what he's up to. I look at the items for sale first, and I see all these things with white backgrounds. Okay, this guy's selling stuff on Amazon. So then I check here, and he sold 3 of these. Bingo. He sold 3 of these in the last couple days. That's something I'm going to consider listing. So let me go ahead and grab this title, go back, and go here and paste it in. And bingo, I found the item. It's $31.99. There's 11 left in stock. He sold it for $40.45. All right? So let's figure it out. So $40.45 times 0.85 minus 32, basically. So he's making $2.38. Okay? Now, does it mean he's making $2.38 and everything? No. So I'm going to double check on some more items. That may have been just one. Let's go ahead and pull up this knife. He sold 1 of them. There's only 1 sold. I'm not looking at his completed listings. What I'm doing is look, he sold 33 of these, okay? All right, so now, and he sells a lot all the time. Let's see if it's an Amazon item. Let's go ahead and copy it. Let's put it in Amazon. We're going to paste it in, and bingo, let's see what's going on. Bingo, here it is for $86.57. It says WES51 Analog Soldering Station. WSE51 Analog Soldering Station. Now, he's obviously not getting this from Amazon. He started probably getting it from Amazon, but what happened was he started selling so many of them that he went and sourced it himself outside of Amazon, and I can tell you because he's a very experienced seller. He's got, say, 167,000 listings, okay? But so far, it's not working out for you. With our business model right now, this isn't working for you. So what you want to do is say, okay, this item sells. Let's go back. Let's get out of this seller. Hold on a second. I meant to do this way. Let's just take this one item. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this item. I'm going to paste it because I already know that it's $86 at Amazon. And I'm not going to do what you guys do. I'm not going to do this and go to the lowest. I'm going to go up here and go to this guy. All right, he sold 9 of them for more money. Perfect, but he hasn't sold them in a while, so it doesn't matter. But just because he's not selling this doesn't mean he has other listings he's selling. Now I'm going to go check his listings, right? Because I know he'll have profit typically if he sells something. So I'm going to go here. He sold 2 of these. Whatever. I'm going to go here. He sold 10 of these. A Nordic Wear Universal Pan, whatever it is. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to paste it. And bingo, there it is right here. Okay? It's $11.08. $14.73. Another yuck. Right? So I'm going to take that, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to sit in someone else's poop, okay? Okay? I hate to say it that way. And I'm going to go here, and he sold 31 of them. Let's see when he sold 31 of them. All right, he hasn't sold one in a month or so. Doesn't mean I'm going to list it? No. And when he did sell them, he was at $14.65 like the other guy. He wasn't at $19.99. But I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to look at his other listings. I'm going to look at his items for sale. I'm going to come back, find this chair. He sold 32 of these chairs. Doesn't look like an Amazon listing. It doesn't have an all-white background. He's selling them today. It looks great. I'm hoping that I find it. And I'm going to go here and paste it and see if we get lucky. And it looks like it might be here. This is the Ostrich Folding Chair Lounge. Here's some other pictures of it so we know when we're looking on Amazon. Okay, let's go back. And looks like the same thing. Another item that if it's on Amazon is bad. So I'm going to go back. And what I'll do is I'll do this. And I'll just type in purple monkey. Till I find the seller. So I'm going to go to this purple monkey. Didn't really mean to get a real purple monkey. But I do have one. And I keep going until I find. Sometimes I find it in a couple minutes. And sometimes I don't. All right, here's, probably shouldn't have picked that purple monkey. But this guy lists purple monkeys. Let's see, buy it now. Let me get that out of the way first. $9.99, whatever. Oh, look at this guy. He listed that same purple monkey for $40. I'm going to go into Roxy, and then I'm going to check out her items for sale. So what you guys do is, boy, she's got a lot of different stuff, is you go for the lowest price thing, and I don't. All right, and it's stated in the videos. We're gonna paste, and I'm gonna keep going until I find this thing. Okay, so $40.99, 30. Obviously, there's a problem there. All right, we keep going. Now, what this person has is they probably have a gazillion listings, and they're not tracking it. Oh, wait a minute, they got shipped. They're adding shipping. All right, but I could keep going here. We'll find one. Bloop, boop, bloop, boop. Copy. And I just go and I burn through it and don't get stuck on one seller. And if you do that, you will find and I'm not going to stop till I find one. I'm just going to type in anything. All right, so I don't want to buy a whole, well, let's find out. We got a boat cover. I don't know. Let's see. I never sold boat covers. This ought to be fun. Classic Stormboat Pro cover 88918. It's probably one of these right here. Let's see. We'll go back. No, it's too complex. All right. Let's just keep going. Looks like a telescope chair. Boom, 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 boom. People like pink. Pink items sell. I don't know why, but pink items are hot. There's a. I wonder if they still have that. That. Actually, I was on this one before. Let's do this one. Search. $22.95. All right, so I'm gonna go. Hopefully, this is not the same one. There we go. So I'm gonna go to this guy right here. Items for sale. It's got some wood. I'm gonna look at the margin. I'm gonna go back. So once you find your sellers, those guys, what's really important to understand is you're not going to be looking for sellers over and over again. Where's that at? $34.99, $45, $52. So it's got about $5. So here's a seller. So I'm probably going to add them into my thing. I found the seller, and I'm going to go and look through all those listings and look for the ones that may have 3 or more. Okay. And once you get 3 or 4 or 5 sellers, then you're not going to be doing that anymore. Because really, look, you're not going to be able to keep up. He's got 2,000 listings. You're never going to catch him, right? Free shipping only guy. How many does he have? We have one guy with 167,000 listings. So once you find your sellers, he's got 16,000 listings. Once you find your sellers, I mean, 100 of you guys could, 10 of you could probably use this one guy right here, okay? So that's what you do. Don't look at the lowest price, then you're going to get the lowest margin. Dave, should we specialize? I already answered that. I'm going to finish some questions here, and then I'm done. I can't answer that. Not right now. It's a loaded question. Okay, so I found lots of, Marisol says, I found lots of great sellers. They're very easy to find them. You're right. Once you get the hang of it, they're easy to find. Pink is considered a relaxing color. Nice. Buy, someone says, check out Buy. Buy is buy.com. So they're a big company, and they have millions of listings. Okay. I have a whole video on that. Dave, having trouble finding sellers that have profit of $3 or more. That's easy to do. I just showed you guys how to do it. Okay, so that's it for tonight. I will schedule this for next. Let's go ahead and do it now. Next Wednesday at the same exact time. So you guys are all set there. Thanks, guys. I hope you got a lot out of the workshop. I did record it, and I will upload it probably by tomorrow. And happy eBaying. It's great to hear all your success stories. Keep putting them up on Facebook. It matters. You do help other people get out of their poop and see how wonderful they can do. And Doba sucks, Marisol. I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.